The battleship Bismarck set sail from the naval base of Gottenhafen, Gdynia, on the Polish-Baltic coast of the Bay of Gdansk, commanded by Captain Ernst Lindemann and with Admiral Gunther Lütjens on board. Together with the cruiser Prinz Eugen, it heads for the Atlantic to carry out Operation Rheinübung, the aim of which is to sink as many Allied supply ships en route to Britain as possible. In the Sea War, the Bismarck and the Prinz Eugen reached the North Sea, entering Korsvejord in northern Norway and anchoring in Grimstadfjord, close to Bergen. Later that day, they are spotted by a Spitfire of the Coastal Command, which immediately reports the sighting to the British fleet. The Commander-in-Chief of the Home Fleet, Admiral John Tovey, orders the heavy cruisers Norfolk and Suffolk, captained by Counter-Admiral William Wake Walker, to patrol the Strait of Denmark. At the same time, ships under the command of Vice Admiral Lancelot Ernst Holland set sail from Scapa Flow, heading for Iceland. These include the cruiser Hood, the battleship Prince of Wales, as well as the destroyers Achatz, Antelope, Anthony, Echo, Icarus, and Electra. Admiral Tovey remains at Scapa Flow, on board the flagship cruiser King George V, waiting to see what will happen. In the Sea War, the Bismarck and the Prinz Eugen face adverse weather conditions and have received an anti-submarine alert. They zigzag in a northwest direction towards the Denmark Strait, while the destroyers that follow them head eastwards towards Trondheim, Norway. Admiral Tovey, alerted to the situation, set sail with the battleship King George, the aircraft carrier Victorious, 5 cruisers, and 6 destroyers. The battle cruiser Repulse, located in the Clyde on the western coast of Scotland, is ordered to join the group. Meanwhile, the Norfolk and the Suffolk, equipped with new radar systems, continue their journey towards the Denmark Strait, which separates Iceland from Greenland, with the objective of intercepting the German ships. The battleship Bismarck and the cruiser Prinz Eugen enter the Denmark Strait. The Suffolk and the Norfolk patrol the northern coast of Iceland with the help of radar in the thick fog. At dusk, the German ships are spotted by the cruiser Suffolk, and Captain Robert Mayrick Ellis informs Admiral John Tovey, on board the battleship King George V, of their position. Later that day, the Bismarck opens fire on the heavy cruiser Norfolk, which is forced to hide behind a smokescreen. The British ships merely track the German vessels on radar while awaiting the arrival of the other units. During the night, Admiral Gunther Lütjens tries to elude the enemy ships. At dawn, and with improved visibility, the British and German ships see each other. The battle cruiser Hood and battleship Prince of Wales steam at full speed towards the Bismarck and the Prinz Eugen. Vice Admiral Holland prefers a close-range engagement, where he believes he has more chance of winning. The Battle of Denmark Straits begins between the biggest warships in the world. Holland orders the Hood to open fire against the Prinz Eugen, mistaking it for the Bismarck, while the Prince of Wales targets the colossal German battleship. Many of the British shells fall short of their targets, but the Bismarck is hit 3 times and begins to take on water and leak fuel in its wake. The response of the Kriegsmarine ships is immediate, and the Prinz Eugen hits the Hood, causing a serious fire on board. The Bismarck's guns come into action, shelling from a distance of 16 kilometers, 17,500 yards. The Hood's munitions hold is hit, causing a huge explosion that sinks the ship in less than 2 minutes. Only 3 of the 1,421 crew members survive. The Prince of Wales, after being hit several times, takes flight behind a smokescreen. After the 30-minute battle, Admiral Lütjens orders his ships to head to the base of Saint-Nazaire in France. The Royal Navy vessels chasing keep track of them on their radar screens. The loss of battlecruiser Hood causes consternation among the British and a desire for revenge. Prime Minister Winston Churchill, addressing the House of Commons, declares that they must sink the Bismarck, whatever the cost.
To go and see for myself.
Meanwhile, the German battleship heads towards the French coast, while the Prince Eugen sails into the Atlantic. The British Admiralty orders its ships to hunt down the Bismarck. The battleships Rami and Rodney are joined in the chase by Force H, made up of the aircraft carrier Ark Royal and the cruisers Renown and Sheffield, which set sail from their base on Gibraltar under the command of Admiral Somerville to cover the southern flank of the Atlantic Ocean. Swordfish torpedo bombers from the aircraft carrier Victorious reach the area and attack the Bismarck, only managing to strike it once. Soon afterwards, the Prince of Wales fires 2 shells that fail to hit the target. The Norfolk and the Suffolk continue to keep track of the ship's course via their radars. But on his 52nd birthday, Admiral Lütjens is giving a brilliant display of seamanship and is able to shake off his pursuers with a nighttime maneuver that leaves the Royal Navy commanders disconcerted. However, Lütjens, unaware of the situation, sends a long message to Hitler and Admiral Raeder, thus revealing his position. In the Sea War in the Atlantic Ocean, a Catalina aircraft from the Coastal Command flown by pilot Dennis Briggs spots the battleship Bismarck and reports its position. The closest ships are those of the H Force, commanded by Admiral Somerville, who is ordered to stop the German battleship, which is only a day away from the French port of Brest. The British ships set off in pursuit at full speed. "15 Swordfish aircraft take off from the Ark Royal to look for the Bismarck. After mistaking the light cruiser Sheffield for the German battleship, they attack. Thus, realizing their error, they return to the carrier. At dusk, the Swordfish take off again, carrying torpedoes with contact fuses. At the same time, U-556, commanded by Herbert Warfoth, arrives on the scene, but it has run out of torpedoes. The planes of the Ark Royal attack the Bismarck and succeed in hitting it several times, rendering its rudders useless and forcing it to sail in circles. In a stormy sea, the German battleship tries to defend itself as the British ships close in. Aboard the Bismarck, Admiral Lütjens and Captain Ernst Lindemann are aware that the end is near. A sense of despair and impotence takes hold of the crew. The Royal Navy battleships Rodney and King George V and the cruisers Norfolk and Dorsetshire opened fire on the German ship from a distance of 20 kilometers, 21,900 yards. The Bismarck barely responds as it is caught in a deluge of enemy fire, which renders it defenseless. The distance between the ships shortens as torpedoes and shells are fired one after another. The British are amazed that the German battleship does not go down, until Captain Hans Ols gave the order to scuttle. The Bismarck, a wonder of naval engineering, begins to heel over as its stern sinks. Finally, at 10 o'clock 39 minutes, it disappears into the depths of the ocean. Of its 2,200 crew members, only 115 survive. The powerless U-74 and U-556 have witnessed the disaster. Hitler, on hearing the news, cancels all appointments and locks himself in his study.